Wake your SteamOS console, and the LG TV comes on with it. Put the console to sleep, and the television powers down too. You can even raise, lower, or mute SteamOS volume from the same setup. No extra remote, no home assistant, and no cloud account. In this guide, I'll show you the exact workflow on a Framework desktop and LG webOS TV, one-time local pairing, a safe pre-suspend power command, and native PipeWire volume controls. Every address and pairing key on screen is a placeholder, so nothing private is exposed. Let's build it. Before starting, confirm 4 things. First, the SteamOS machine and the LG television must be on the same local network. Wired Ethernet is ideal, but Wi-Fi also works. Second, switch SteamOS into desktop mode so you can use Konsole and create a few files in your home folder. Third, confirm that Python 3 can create a virtual environment. Recent SteamOS builds normally include the pieces needed for this. Fourth, on the television, enable the network or mobile connection features that permit remote control apps. LG changes the exact menu names between webOS releases, so look under Network, Devices, External Devices, or Mobile TV settings. The television must remain awake during the first pairing. Wake-on-LAN and remote power-off are different technologies. The Wake packet uses the TV's MAC address, while Shutdown uses LG's authenticated webOS control API. Find the television's local IP address in its network details or in your router's client list. For a reliable automation, reserve that address in the router so it does not change later. In this guide, I write ~TV_IP greater than wherever your address belongs. If you also publish a Wake script, replace the MAC address with ~TV_MAC greater than. These values are not passwords, but they can still reveal details about a private network and should not appear in a public tutorial. The genuinely sensitive item is the webOS client key created during pairing. Store it under .config/LGTV/client key, set file mode 600, and never print or paste its contents. The power command reads the key silently. If the key is ever exposed, delete that one file and pair again to generate a replacement. Now open Konsole in desktop mode. Create 2 directories, .local share LG TV control for the virtual environment and bin for the commands. Run Python 3-mvenv with the virtual environment path. Then call the pip executable inside that environment and install PipeWireâ version 0.8.9. A virtual environment matters on SteamOS because system updates replace the immutable operating system image. Files inside your home directory survive normal updates and do not require disabling read-only mode. Pinning the package version also makes the tutorial reproducible. The sleep script will use a shebang that points directly to this environment's Python interpreter, so it works from a terminal and from systemd without activating the environment first. Finally, install the script as home/bin/sleep LGTV and give it executable mode 755. Command performs 3 jobs. It connects to the television's secure webOS WebSocket endpoint on port 3001. It registers as an LG remote app, using a previously saved client key when one exists, and it sends the SSAP system turn-off request. On the first run, registration causes the television to display an approval prompt. After approval, webOS returns a client key, which the script writes with owner-only permissions. Later runs are non-interactive. One small implementation detail is important. The television may close the network socket immediately as the panel powers down. That does not necessarily mean the command failed. The script treats a connection close after sending the request as an expected shutdown behavior. It still reports other failures clearly, such as a missing client key, an unreachable host, or a pairing timeout. With the television fully awake, set LG_TV_ host to your reserved address and run sleep LG TV with pair only, secure yes, and a 60-second timeout. Watch the television, not just the terminal. When the LG remote app prompt appears, choose allow. The terminal should then say that the pairing key was saved. If you do not see the prompt, verify that the television is awake, that both devices are on the same network, and that LG's network control feature is enabled. Do not keep retrying while the panel is asleep. Port 3001 may accept a connection before the full remote control service is ready. Once pairing succeeds, leave the key file alone. You do not need to repeat this step after every reboot or SteamOS update. Pair again only if the TV forgets the client or you deliberately remove the key. Before adding any automation, test the command by itself. Run the same command without pair only and use an 8-second timeout. The expected output is sent LG TV power off command. More importantly, confirm that the television actually switches off. This separates network and pairing problems from systemd problems. If the command says the key is missing, perform the pairing step again. If it times out, ping the television and test whether TCP port 3001 is reachable. If the television turns off but the terminal reports a connection reset, make sure your script handles a socket close after the power request. Do not continue until the manual command is dependable. Once this works, every later step is just a safe way of running the same known good command at the correct point in the suspend sequence. Automation uses Login's PrepareForSleep signal. A small watcher starts under your user systemd instance and listens on the systemd bus. Its service is wrapped in systemd inhibit with a sleep delay lock. When SteamOS begins suspending, Login broadcasts PrepareForSleep true. The watcher immediately runs sleep LG TV in non-interactive mode. It then exits, which releases the delay inhibitor and lets suspend continue normally. This is better than guessing with a timer after the screen blanks. It gives the network command a short, defined window before the network interface powers down. The watcher should use the secure connection explicitly and a modest timeout, such as 6 seconds. If the television is already off or unreachable, the command can fail and the watcher still exits. Your console must never remain awake indefinitely just because the television did not answer. SteamOS audio can be controlled from the same terminal without hard-coding a sound device number. PipeWireâ exposes the symbolic target at default audio sync, and wpctl acts on whichever output SteamOS currently considers default. Start with wpctl, get volume. Install the watcher in home/bin and its service file in .config/systemd/user. The service's exec start launches systemd inhibit with what equals sleep, mode equals delay, and a short description, followed by the watcher path. Set restart equals always with a reasonable restart delay. The watcher exits during suspend, and the service starts it again after resume so it is ready for the next cycle. Because this is a user service, every management command includes systemtl-user. Run daemon reload, then enable -- now with the service name. No sudo is needed. Keeping the service under your account also avoids hard-coding a distribution-specific system path and keeps the setup compatible with SteamOS updates. The service should not contain your pairing key. It only starts the command, which reads the protected key from your home configuration folder. Verify the installation before relying on it. Systemtl-user is enabled should return enabled. Is active should return active. Then run systemd inhibit -- list and filter for the service name. You should see your account holding a delay inhibitor for sleep. Finally, perform a real end-to-end test. Wake the television, confirm the manual command still works if needed, wake it again, and put the SteamOS console to sleep from the normal power menu. The television should switch off just before the console suspends. Wake the console and confirm your existing Wake-on-LAN routine still turns the television back on. Check the user journal if the TV remains on. The useful command is journoctl-user-u followed by the service name. The log should distinguish a missing key, timeout, and ordinary successful command. It helps to remember that wake and sleep use separate paths. On resume, your console broadcasts a Wake-on-LAN magic packet containing the television's MAC address. The TV can detect that packet while its main operating system is asleep. Before suspend, the console is still fully awake, so it connects to the TV's current IP address, authenticates with the client key, and asks webOS to turn off. This is why the wake script needs the MAC address, while the sleep script needs a stable IP address. It is also why a shutdown command cannot simply be the reverse of Wake-on-LAN. Keep your existing resume watcher if it already works. The new service does not replace it. Together they create a console-like experience. Resume wakes the display, and Suspend turns the display off without reaching for the remote. Here are the most common failures. If there is no pairing prompt, wake the television completely and check its device connection or mobile control settings. If the secure connection times out, confirm the address, local route, and port 3001. If the command works manually but not during Suspend, confirm the delay inhibitor is present and inspect the user journal. If the TV address changes, create a router reservation or update LG TV host. If webOS rejects a key that used to work, remove only the client key file and pair again. Do not delete the whole configuration folder, and do not run random commands as root. If SteamOS updates, the home directory environment and user service should survive. If Python itself changes enough to break the virtual environment, recreate that one environment and reinstall the pinned package, then retest the manual command. Now have a complete SteamOS living room control workflow. Wake-on-LAN for resume, a manual webOS power-off command, an automatic pre-suspend hook, and native PipeWireâ volume controls for get, set, step, and mute. The reliable setup order is: reserve the TV address, install the local Python environment, pair once while the television is awake, verify manual power-off, install the user service, confirm the delay inhibitor, and test the audio commands at a safe level. Keep the pairing key private and use placeholders in anything you share publicly. Wake uses the MAC address, webOS shutdown uses the TV address and private key, and wpctl targets the current default audio sync without exposing a device number. The generic command summary and troubleshooting checklist are included in the pinned comment. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the cleaner console-style power and volume behavior.